So, a lighter video, more natural light. Thought I'd try this out. In today's video, the second video on this channel, I am going to off script talk about jobs, working 9 to 5, all that stuff. The stuff that we're pretending to like but secretly hate. I want to start off by saying, you don't know who loves their job and who hates their job. I'm often thinking about this topic, and there's one particular guy that I know, and I thought, well, if anyone likes their job, it's this guy. He seems to be so passionate about it, right? Turns out, I find out very recently, he secretly hates his life and his job, mostly his job. I thought like, wow, if this guy doesn't like his job, what chance do the rest of us have? I mean, this guy's got a lot of energy, and I just thought, if he doesn't like his job, he doesn't like his job. I mean, he's got a career, but like, I don't want to say, I'm purposely like not giving specifics about people I talk about because I want to like keep this very general, but you know, I doubt that anyone's watching this, but basically I thought, wow, if he doesn't like his job, then wow, you just think how many other people secretly hate their jobs too, you know? Because there's sort of like this societal pressure where you have to like pretend that you like working. And if you don't like working, or you're saying like me, I outwardly just don't like it. And I've met many very intelligent people that also don't like it. But if you say those things, you're sort of like bad. However, if you have a lot of money and you say that, that's fine. I've met rich people who said, oh, they don't like the 9 to 5 before they became rich. They're like, I don't like the 9 to 5. Or people who I've known who have been born into money, they also say, oh, I don't want to work a 9 to 5. But it's cool when they say it. That's what I'm always trying to say. Like, when someone has a lot of money, it does not matter what they think, really, because they've got money. It's like, all this job stuff is essentially, you're just trying to make money, but you have to pretend that you enjoy this process. And most people, I don't know if they do, but I think a lot of people don't. I find it so depressing, just when you even start, even just the application process. Like, you're reading a job board and you're reading through all the descriptions. And I find job descriptions the most depressing thing in the world and quite boring. If you ever get bored on you can't fall asleep, just read a job description, it'll knock you out, I think. Oh my God. It's like, oh, you will be the account manager. You will be responsible. I'm like, I don't care. I just want the money. I don't care. Then you go to the interview and you're like, oh, yes, oh, well, you know, I've sort of, for years, I've wanted to work at a company like yours, but like finally, and then you can't win, because if you have too many qualifications, you're overqualified, and that's bad. If you're too old, that's bad. If you're too, like, anything, like, the problem I've got with the job world is you have to fit into this little box to be in the job world. And quite frankly, the world's got 8 billion people, and we're all very different. I mean, a lot of people are quite normal and quite similar, but there's a lot of very unique outliers. Like myself, I'm a very unique person. People always say this to me, I'm very unique. I don't fit into any boxes. Like, I can't do a personality test because it all ranges. Like, what? You know, that Myers-Briggs test, they say, a question will be like, oh, do you thrive under pressure? I'm like, what kind of pressure in what context? Am I trying to like make money? Like, whatever. That's another rant, I could make another video about that. I doubt anyone's even watching this, but it's just like with work, it's the most depressing thing. And then you expect it to just give all your life. Like, it's not even like, oh, you do it for a bit. It's until you're this magic number, 65, apparently then you're allowed to be free. Like, if you're 64 and you want to be free, that's bad. But 65, well, that's fine. Until they change it to 68, 70, whatever. Who knows? To 100. Who knows? Basically, in the working world, you just have to like, it's like a prison sentence. It's like you go to school, which is boring and depressing, to do stupid, worthless things, and then you go to like jobs, and the problem is you don't even get paid that much, usually. And the thing is, I consider a career to be golden handcuffs. Essentially, you're told what to do for the rest of your life. I just don't enjoy that. Like, to me, that's not a life. I don't care. Maybe I'm neurodivergent or something. I think I am. But the thing is, I don't enjoy life when I have to do what other people want me to do. I just don't enjoy it. It's not worth it to me. People can have a go at me, and believe me, I've had many people have a go at me. So don't think if you're going to watch this and comment like you're the first person to do this. But, oh, you know, you've got this disorder, you should just want to... No, I don't want to fit in, to be honest. I have no interest in fitting into society. I don't care. I'm sorry, I like to have friends and stuff, but friends is an individual thing. I don't want to fit in with the mainstream. The mainstream are depressing and boring. Even just like the conversations most people have is just so dull. I'm a person who's always seeking out excellency, and I want to hear interesting opinions. I want to be challenged. I want people to challenge my view and be like, not in like an aggressive way, but be like, oh, so I don't mean like tell me I'm wrong. I mean more like I had this. They share an idea and it sort of makes me question everything. That's what I'm referring to. I really wish that in life that was the norm, that people just thought deeply and people talked about interesting topics. But most conversation, especially small talk, I'm very good at small talk. I know a lot of people hate small talk, and I understand why, to be honest. I can do small talk. I can be very funny in small talk, to be honest. But then after the small talk ends, I sort of want to be like, so what do you think about life? And I want to learn, even with things like finance, people don't talk about investing very often. They're like, why not? Why aren't you talking about this stuff more? Why do people just work and then not invest? It's blown my mind for a long time. Unless you're in a situation like me where I just didn't have the money to invest. But, even then, it's just depressing how people seem to be almost like sheep, most people. They don't question anything. They don't really have opinions of their own. They sort of just, it's like they're living a zombie life, or they're living someone else's life or something. I don't know how they do it, to be honest. I wonder whether it's, because in the last video I spoke about my friend who became a work zombie, and he was a very unique person, but then he became a zombie. And it got me thinking, he wasn't born that way. He was always a colourful character. But there are people that are just very dull. Or maybe it's crushed out of them when they're children. I don't know. When you're a kid, you always want to do fun stuff, but then when you're an adult, you're apparently not allowed to do that anymore. You're not allowed to climb trees. I don't know. It's just, the world is so, if you think about what life is, it's a finite thing that we don't really know. People say they know, but we don't really know 100% what life is. That's just a mystery. Life is a mystery to be lived, as that guy Osho said that. Life is a mystery to be lived. I agree with that. Life is a mystery to be lived. Why aren't we living the mystery? Whales, one of the things I always say, whales literally speak to each other. Sperm whales, orcas, humpback whales, they speak to each other. They have a language. Scientists know they have a language, but they don't know what they're talking about. And they can prove it's a language because they're talking, they change when the whale goes down, they talk differently to other whales. And there's the SETI program where they're trying to use AI to decode it. And I think that's really cool. That's amazing. That excites me. This is what life is about. Whales, and maybe we could talk to the whales. I'd love to talk to a whale. I'd love to swim with a whale. It'd be probably quite, for some reason, it'd be scary but fun. I don't know. It's like skydiving. It was scary and fun. But life has got all these mysteries. There's all these mysteries in life. It's the stars and light years and the speed of light, and what would happen if we traveled to Mars, and there's all these interesting things in the world. And on top of that, there's all these other things that need to be done, homelessness needs to be fixed, and world hunger needs to, all these things in life that are important from a perspective of a conscious human being, right? But people are just the TV show was on. I've never really liked, I'm a bit strange to say this, but I don't really watch movies and TV. I've always been a very unusual person. I'd rather read the encyclopedia. Maybe I'm autistic. I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. But I've always had an interest in facts and things, and people around me just don't care. And a good example I'll give is that I do martial arts. I know a lot. I'm not saying I'm an expert in terms of physical, but I intellectually know a lot about martial arts. And so I am I do Olympic Greco-Roman wrestling, and I will teach people, oh, by the way, if you're doing a martial art and someone Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I can teach you how to stop the attacks. I can tell you how to defeat Muay Thai, boxing. I've done this in real life. I can do, there's techniques I have that I can shut people down. I'll tell people at training, oh, by the way, if you want to learn how to defeat someone, I'll tell you. And they just don't even care. And it's I think some of our brains are wired for excellency. We're wired for rarity, exceptionality. See, I'm not editing this, I'm just going to speak. But then most people are just wired for I was talking to good old ChatGPT about this topic because it can be a very entertaining back and forth with it. And basically it told me that, certain people are attracted to excellency. That's what they're in life, they want to seek the extraordinary, and that's who I am. And what I've got a problem is, in anthropology, they used to say, oh, it's medicalization of a personality. I agree with that. If I'm a person who, instead of watching a movie, wants to read the encyclopedia, or instead of, I'm interested in seeking life, they say that's ADD, that's ADHD, that's, oh, you can't sit still. I mean, even look at this video, I'm semi-standing. But, oh, you don't want to sit in the chair, you're bad. Why? 1,000 years ago, would that be bad? It's only bad now because you, society, tell me it's bad. And this is why I don't get along with society. It's just full of people who have these ideas, like psychologists particularly. It's like, oh, you don't want to, like for example, I don't particularly want to sit on the train for like an hour to go to work every day. I just don't like it. It depresses me. Oh, well, you should just, it's good to go to work. Like, I just don't think that. Like, it's like, society's so silly because in some societies to this day, they still whales, like they do whaling, they kill whales. I think there's a thing in Denmark where they slaughter dolphins, which is pretty messed up, to be honest. Like, I don't know why the fuck they do that, but, and like if you say, oh, don't do that, you're the bad guy. But then, 100 years ago, no one would agree with you. Like, it's all just like humans just make up shit and then they think, oh, this is morality. I personally think it's immoral. It's my opinion because it's all an only opinion. Governments are spending all these money on like submarines and stuff. Why not just help people who are homeless? I've never understood that, to be honest. I'm not even saying I'm a great person. I'm just a person who looks at the world and thinks, why is humanity letting these people freeze on the street? It makes no sense to me. But I'm just one person with no power. So basically, opinions only make sense when you have power. And this is why a lot of people love politics, because they can get into politics and their opinion has weight. And I used to never understand that. As I got older, I realized, you know what, that makes sense why people are drawn to those fields. Because when you have no power, you're just a person. Like, I'm a person speaking to the camera. I mean nothing at the moment. But like, if you had power, if you were born into a very mega rich family and you said, I want to, end poverty or something, there's things you could do to actively make a difference if that's what you want to do. For me personally, I've always wanted to re-green the country of Nauru. That's something I've like been, I'm such an unusual person. I had this like genius plan where I'd like do indoor farming in Nauru and I'd like re-green their economy and all this stuff. And that means nothing because I don't have money, you see. But if I was born into some really rich family, oh, that's amazing. It's always like, it's always bothered me how like where you're born just dictates your entire life. I mean, I'm not in the worst position, but I could be in a better one. But then it's not about comparing in that sense. We compare whether we like it or not. But it's like so many things about life. It's purely just money. Like your intelligence, like all these things like only matter if you have the resources to actually do something about it. And I find that to be very depressing. And jobs are really just like that. Like if you have a lot of money, your confidence, you're not gonna. People think so small. They think about, well, actually, if I get a promotion, I don't want a promotion. I think the ultimate promotion is not having to go to a job, to be honest. That's the real promotion in this world. I don't care what people think. Have a go on me. Tell me. Go on. But I just think like we waste so much of our lives at these jobs, and it's not that even just the physical time we waste. It's the psychology that really bugs me personally. I don't like how it's like I'm expected to be a fake. I hate being a fake person. I'm very good at it, but I don't like doing it. Like, I don't want to be pretending to the world that I like 9-to-5s. I don't like them. It's just who I am. I'm a very free-spirited, creative person. I think a lot of creative people do feel the same, to be honest. What I've found with creative people is if you are able to produce something, like you're an artist and you make good artwork and you sell that artwork, people will respect that. Oh, he's a successful artist. But if you don't make any money out of it, people sort of mock it. I think Elon Musk, people didn't take him. I heard in an interview he said people don't take him seriously before he had the money. He was talking to some woman about he wants to go to do Mars or something, and it was ridiculous. But now that he's a billionaire, people think it's really cool, essentially. Of course, whenever you mention any name, everything's politicized. You can't. I mean, I understand why people have these opinions. I'm just saying the whole world's been so. You can't even just speak without someone going crazy. But I saw this video of a guy, right, on YouTube. He was sort of making videos just like me. He was just speaking. And he was talking about how he used to be an artist, right? He was an artist. He loved art his whole life. And he did a degree in art. And he actually started selling his art, right? So you would think that would make him happy. Well, guess what? Apparently he was just painting all day, selling his art, making money. But it really depressed him because he felt like he had to paint. And because he had to paint, he lost that sort of drive to paint in the first place. And I think a lot of creative people feel the same. If you want to do something creative, like for me, messing around with music and stuff is quite fun. But when I was forced to do it, I didn't enjoy it, to be honest. I used to love music. I used to play a lot of instruments. I just loved music. And then at school, when they forced you to do like music theory, I'm like, I don't care. I just want to play music. But then I actually never to this day played music much. I lost my interest in it because when you're forced to do something aggressively, I lose interest in it. Example I always give, another example, my skydiving instructor, this is no joke, he told me, because I was going up in the plane, I was obviously quite nervous, so I was trying to just talk about stuff to distract my mind. And he was saying to me that the job's actually not that exciting. He's like, look, you got to pack the parachutes. Yes, you jump out of a plane, but it's kind of like driving a car. This is his words. Oh, it's just like driving a car. It's kind of fun the first time, then you sort of get used to it. And you might think that sounds crazy. What do you mean skydiving's like? But it actually makes sense if you think about it. If you're doing something day after day after day for like 10 years, he's jumping out of planes every day. And sure, it's not like he's doing it solo. He's doing it with some person like me, some large guy like me who's like, ah. I actually blacked out, by the way. I passed out in the air. I wish I still had the footage. It's actually quite crazy, to be honest. But anyway, so this guy was doing skydiving. And he literally was like, my job's not that exciting. And he was being serious. And I thought, I'm so glad he was honest with me and actually said that, because I used to think when I was younger, oh yeah, be a surf. Because I used to do surf lessons from an ex-champion, long story, but this person, my father delivered the baby of this woman who's a world champion surfer. And so we used to like do lessons with her, private lessons. And I don't know how this happened, but anyway, and she was like so into surfing. And I always thought, oh, I'd love to be like her. Like she just surfs and like she was in, just her whole life surfed. But then when I thought about it, like the fact that you have to surf would make me not want to surf. Even other industries, which I'm not going to name due to censoring, there's a certain activity that I may, in theory, like doing. I mean, other people may like doing this activity too. It's a certain activity that I'm not going to say, right? But I've had little thought experiments with myself, and I've thought to myself, like, theoretically, would I perform on camera doing a certain act, just as just a thought experiment? Would I enjoy that? And I actually thought, like, I had a genuine, I'm always very, curious and thinking of things. I don't think I would. If someone was like, you have to go in, and I think I'd hate it, to be honest. Everything in life is not fun when you're forced to do it. That's something I believe, and I'll always believe that. That's the whole point of making money, is so you don't have to answer to people. But the problem is, if a rich person says that, that's awesome. The psychologist will go, that's awesome. But then if you're the poor person who knows all the rich people, and maybe, also, I guess my family background, it's kind of confusing because people think I'm going to be something that I'm not. But anyway, I'm sorry, I've gone off topic again. What I'm trying to say is, if people think you're a certain person and you don't live up to that, you get let down and they don't like it. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're a person who doesn't like being told what to do, life can be very, very hard unless you've got money, Because like even things like, I met this politician once, and her job was to go around the Pacific Islands, and she was like delivering aid on behalf of the Australian government. And it actually looked like as someone who studied anthropology, I thought this would be and I speak a bit of Pidgin English, like Tok Pisin as well. So I thought, Papua New Guinean Pidgin, and Solomon Islands Pidgin, and Vanuatu Bislama. And I thought, that'd be cool. Imagine going to those islands and speaking the language and giving them aid and all that. And aid's a bit controversial, but because aid doesn't always do what you think it's going to do. But anyway, I thought that'd be a cool job. But then I thought about it. I thought, well, no, they dictate where I have to go. They tell me what to do. Like, if you're traveling, you're a tourist. You can sort of just choose where to go. You can be driving near Rome and say, actually, that Venice place looks pretty cool. I wouldn't mind going to Venice. And you could sort of just go, But the problem is then you got to go back to work. And that's the thing. With work, it's always depressed me. Because with work, you get like 4 weeks off a year. And what I hate about that is you feel so like inclined to like use up that 4 weeks. So it's, if you have 4 weeks and you've gone through you've burnt through the first 2 weeks just recovering, you think, I've wasted my leave. But then if you go traveling, you sort of burn up your energy. It's a very non-win situation. I think certain people with depression or creative personalities, or I'm not sure, neurodivergence, autism, ADHD, I'm not sure. I think maybe, because I'm obviously not a doctor, but like I assume that we have burnouts quite quickly. I assume that our energy levels are low. Because for me, when I was trying to work jobs and stuff, I was barely going to the gym. I was so tired. Like the mental burden of it really tires me out and depresses me. And then also I have a severe sleep disorder. So my body does not produce sleep chemicals very easily. And I found that in society, the working world is not very accommodating. And it's sort of like, I'm a very clever person in the right environment. If I'm sort of left alone to my own devices, I can be very, very clever. But if I'm in a loud environment, I sort of become stupid almost. I don't know how to explain this to people. It's like I remember going to this job interview, and they were like, if you get this job, you're going to be sitting in this, it was a really small chair, like literally almost, like it was like almost like a shared chair. I don't know how to explain this. It was a really tiny little office, and you had to like basically be sitting next to someone else. And I thought, I might be autistic, I'm not sure, but I don't like people being, unless it's someone I want there. But you go to these jobs and like my intelligence does not shine if there's people, like, it's like offices. You're expected to work in a cubicle. Like my brain shuts down with noise. Like I don't, If you said to me, okay, investing is a good example. If you said to me, here's all this money, I want you to spend 3 weeks researching all the top 500 companies or something, I could do that very easily. If you put me in a chair next to someone and said, okay, do this, my brain gets, it's like at university, people used to go to the library to study, and I was the guy who was known as sort of almost starting a party in the library. It was like, oh, yeah, we're all just going to hang out and socialize. We didn't really ever get kicked out. We were always just told to be quiet, but no one ever kicked us out. It was just, I'd go to the library and I'd never study. I don't know how people study at libraries. Like there's, co-working spaces. I've seen YouTubers say, oh, I'm in a co-working space. You pay money for something where you have to be, if I'm around people, I will speak to them. Like look at me now, I'm talking to a camera and I'm speaking a lot. Imagine me at a party or with people, especially if they're good people that I can vibe with. And you're supposed to go to these jobs and like, it's like, how are you, I don't know, I really do believe, I don't know if anyone's going to watch this, but I do believe that if you have some sort of neurodivergence, our brains don't work the same way other people's brains work. Because I believe that if you are a normal person, whatever that means, you can sit in an office cubicle and be happy. I mean, what blows my mind, there's people in the world that are genuinely happy that work 9 to 5s in offices. I find offices to be, honestly, I'm not just saying this, I'm being very serious. Everything I say, I'm being serious. I find offices to be one of the most depressing places in life. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I see them and they're stale and they're just, it's worse than a hospital. It's like, it's all stale and everyone's there little sitting, it's so depressing. And if you say that, you're the bad guy. Obviously there's, I don't know, like obviously like, tradesmen have told me like digging ditches and stuff to put pipes down is not very good either. But I mean, I almost feel like that's better than an office. Just psychologically puts me in a bad mood. I was doing this job once at a really big office that my friend owned, and it was kind of all right because we had like the entire thing to ourselves and my friend owned it. So it was kind of okay, to be honest. He's that guy I was talking about in the last video. He and this other guy that we did a thing with, long story. That was okay, but most offices are so small and they're just disgusting and they're like depressing. And you also like, you get on the train after work and everyone's just, like depressed on, and that's life. Like you're supposed to want to live. Oh yeah, I love life. Like how? Are you just flooded with dopamine, 24, serotonin, whatever? That's the thing. I think that in life we should embrace people's uniqueness. That's what I believe, because I think the world would be a better place if we did that. If we just said to people, you know what, you're a creative person, create your art, and like, I think Noam Chomsky talks about this. It's like people do want to do stuff, they just want to do stuff that has meaning. And so much of jobs are meaningless. Like when you go to a job, you're not, maybe you are, but most of the time, at least in the cities, it's a very kind of meaningless job. You're just there to be an account manager or whatever the heck that means. And you're just sitting there writing emails, and it's not fulfilling at all, to be honest. And I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people are able to live life and be happy with just no time. It's like I was going to judo training, and this guy who I train with, he's just like, oh, I'm so tired, I've got to leave, I've got work tomorrow. And just, he had to get up at 5 a.m. for his job, and it's just like, I don't know, it's depressing. And I'll be honest, I don't like the mornings. I think I'm a night person, but in the working world, you've got to, if you say to somebody, I don't like mornings because my brain sort of doesn't work very well, you're the bad guy. But if a rich person says it, well, it's cool. If you're really rich, if they wake up late, no one cares. No one says a word to them. Oh, yes, sir. It's all yes, sir, yes, sir. If you're poor and you wake up late, you're lazy. And by the way, I don't even believe in the term laziness. I'm actually probably going to make a follow-up video about this. Laziness is literally just an invented word. I genuinely believe if you are lazy, you either don't know what to do, you've got some sort of mental illness, or you're feeling tired, or there's some legitimate, I could be wrong, this is just my theory. Because for me, like I often have low energy, but the moment I think I'm going to, because I'm always trying businesses, I'm always trying to do stuff and trying to make stuff and make apps, and I've done startups and I'm always trying to do stuff. And when I think I'm going to make money, my energy is through the roof, like through the roof. Even now doing this channel, like my energy is, oh yes, I'm making a YouTube channel, even though people are probably going to hate my personality because I talk about jobs in a bad way. It might work, I don't know, probably won't, but when you think you have energy, if you think you have energy, right, if you think you have success coming, your energy goes through the roof. When I was training martial arts, 4.5 hours, 4 to 4.5 hours a day, I do a little bit of workout as well. I had relatively good energy. I mean, I'd crash out afterwards, but it's like, when I was doing the Olympic training, I thought like, you sort of feel like when life has some sort of like, you're doing what you want, the energy comes. Even if you do feel tired, it's like a good tired. I don't know how to explain this. I've had like fatigue when my brain actually shuts down and tells me no. Like my brain, and that's what jobs do to me. Jobs make me, some of the people who know me, they've seen me in the working context and they see how bad I am, how I just shut down, how I almost have to, like sometimes one place I was trying to work, it was a marketing place I was working at. I was trying to like, I got so tired in the daytime that I actually like lay down under a desk and tried to sleep. Even though I can't sleep, I just lay down. Like I was so just like tired. And this was only like part-time as well. I was only working at 4 hours a day. I was so tired. And it just shows that not everyone's, because something about work just makes me depressed. Just the whole environment. Even if the boss is nice, I just don't like it. And if the boss is mean, I don't like that either. It's like, who do you think you are talking to me like that? But if I say that, I'm arrogant. I get that. I'm arrogant. Sorry, I'm arrogant. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. You should. Yeah. But if a rich guy, if he says it, it's fine. So that's the double standard I've sort of struggled with for a long time. And, so yeah, I think I'm going to probably wrap this up. I've just ranted for who knows how long. I'm really just experimenting with YouTube. I actually have no idea what I'm doing on this channel. The whole purpose of this channel is just me being me and just messing around, having fun. And look, honestly, if people watch this, I would love just to talk and I'm not necessarily the best with going online all the time, but we comment, we chat or something. I don't know. It's fun just to hear other people's perspectives in a genuine way, not like I hate you for not loving the working world, just in a sort of genuine way. But I'd love to hear to tell me if work makes you happy or sad. Be honest. Like if you actually love working and you have some reason for it, please tell me. I'd love to know, to be honest. I actually wouldn't mind knowing. If you hate your job, we're probably going to get along very, very well. If you have any stories about any rich people you've known or any poor people, just feel free to just talk. And I like to engage with people in this and be quite interesting. I might make a follow-up video based on, whatever you guys want to talk about, if anyone's watching, which I genuinely do not think YouTube's going to show this video because it's too all over the place. Oh, whatever. I don't lose anything by making this, so whatever. Anyway, I hope you have a great day, night, whatever you're doing. As you can see, the sun's starting to go down, so that's me. And I'll hopefully make another video soon and see what happens. Thank you.